I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Tomorrow night, I'm gonna smash your boy, guys.
My balls was hot.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Is he fucking awesome?
Yes, welcome to a new episode of Buiten de Kooi, the #1 MMA podcast of the Netherlands. I see you guys wondering, why are you talking English while talking to Reinier de Ridder? Because we are both Dutch, but we'll be doing it in English to make him an international superstar, because we have Reinier in the UFC now. First of all, Reinier, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, bro. Thank you. We're here. It's early morning. Just woke up. Normal life. My coaches are here. We're in the Airbnb, sparring in a couple of hours. Good life.
Great to hear. I think you have some better weather than we have in the Netherlands because it's rainy all day over here. How's the weather over there?
Yeah, it's steady 30 degrees, so it's nice.
It's better. Hey, Rani, I had a lot of questions and I don't want to keep you on too long because you need to train. But how have your first weeks, months been as a UFC fighter? I saw a lot of media attention. Now you're a UFC fighter. Before that, there are some questions about it. But how's that been?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. So, as you know, I've been all the way in a different organization. I've been a double champ, and for a while, everything happened. Lost everything again, and the media attention is maybe 10 times that now with the UFC. So it's interesting to see what people care about.
I also noticed your Instagram following growth within the couple of weeks. So that's great. I know you're not on your own Instagram or you're not even on social media. So it's also a slight
Yeah,
difference.
I
But
check it out. I
still,
check it out. I put some stuff on now from here. So I didn't really check.
that's
So
great.
a lot of new people are following.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it. So who knows? Within a few months, we have our own superstar again. The deals are coming. Hey, Reinier, first off, I want to start with the following because we know one championship pretended to do no weight cuts. I have some doubts about some of the weight cuts, but still, there were no weight cuts in one championship. But now you're going into the UFC. You're going to fight at the middleweight division. How is your cut going?
It's going well. It's pretty. It's pretty new because it's been like 6 years ago since I've made 84 kilos. So getting shredded, motherfucker, and really dieting down right now. Getting close to what I should be. And the UFC helps me a lot. So they give you all the meals you need to eat. They really guide you through the whole process. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's great. I also hear a lot of good stories about the PI. I saw some pictures on Instagram that you were also at the PI. What was your first impression of going there, training over there, and using the facilities?
Yeah, it's very cool. My coach are very happy with all the different drinks. So there's coffee, there's milkshakes. They're really taken care of. So they feel very important, which is nice. I can't have too many drinks, so that's a shame. But it's very cool. They have like everything under one roof. Training, good facilities for this. So like all the strength conditioning stuff, 2 cages, walls to wrestle on, good mats. So all perfect stuff. Then there's recovery stuff. They have saunas and ice baths, and there's food there as well. So there's a cafe there you can use for good like quality food. So it's awesome. It's amazing. The scale is crazy. It's crazy how many people work there. It's crazy how big it is. Yeah, it's cool.
And also, I know there are some training sessions. For example, your manager also sometimes gives some training sessions over at the PI. Do you also join those, or do you have your own plan at the moment?
No, I did. We did one a couple days ago. with Edmund Shabazian. So I've been training with Edmund a bit, which is cool. He has some experience with Gerald. Um, and I went to Extreme yesterday for the first time. I was a bit scared to like get into some too intense work, but they're all very cool. Sean Strickland is very cool, nice, pretty seems pretty normal guy. So that's so far so good.
I think you're the first one who says Sean Strickland looks normal, so props to you.
That's pretty. He's
uh,
pretty cool. He likes to talk a lot, but he's very nice to me, at least.
I think it's also something he shows to the outside world, and when you get to know him, I think a lot of people would say he's a pretty cool guy, but of course,
You have to in this game, man. Everybody works his ass off. How can you be an asshole if you're always tired anyway?
exactly. And when you're talking about Gerald Meerschaert, he's your opponent. He's on a 2-fight win streak, but you also have trained with him. So you guys know each other a bit, and he knows your style, you know his style. Um, what do you expect from him going into this fight?
Um, yeah. So first off, it's awesome that I got this matchup. He's a great fighter. Um, he's been around for very long. A lot of experience in the UFC. So I'm very happy that they gave me this matchup. Strong power. It looks like sometimes it looks like a little sloppy and a little slow, but he gets a lot of people out of there. Strong left hook, um, like surprisingly good jiu-jitsu in a few situations. So yeah, I expect him to come in and try and keep it on the feet, of course. So he's gonna try and move around the cage, I think, and try and get me with that left hook. That's basically what I expect from him. Might be kicking a little bit, but not too much, because he might be scared of the takedown. So I don't think he's going to throw a lot of kicks, but he has been like in his last couple of fights. He reacts off the jab very nicely against other southpaws. So the good thing is, because he has so many fights, we have a lot to study. Yeah? So he's been fighting a lot of
Of course.
southpaws before. Um, he's very good off countering off the jab. Um, yeah, it's just a very well-rounded guy. Looks a little slow, but he's very durable and a great challenge.
I think also for us as the Dutch fans and MMA fans in general, if we could have picked one match for you to be your first match within the UFC, Gerald Meerschaert would be one of them.
Yeah.
Mainly because of his style and mainly because he doesn't mind being on the ground and going into the jiu-jitsu battles. For the people who don't know, if you felt Reinier's pressure on top of your chest, it's hell. I felt it. So I hope Gerald knows what he gets into. But he also trains with Angla.
He's not gonna engage in the grappling too much. We'll get there maybe eventually, but he's gonna try and keep it on the feet.
Okay, let's go talking about the feet because we know you enjoy being on the ground. We know you have a great ground game, but honestly, we know, yeah. How have you been developing that part over the last couple of months? Because it's something you also mentioned yourself that that's the part where you still have some, yeah, growth.
Who knows? Who knows? I've always been working on my striking a lot, so hopefully I can show some more of it again. Um, you'll have to wait and see.
But for us, we already saw a bit of the difference comparing the fights in one, the two fights with Anatoly. Uh, we saw. I always have to laugh because when I say Anatoly, Sammy used to put an eggplant into it. So, but when we saw the second fight, you also put some power in the fist, and he even got down. How he got up, nobody knows. But so we saw the development. So hopefully we get to see that. I know Gerald is also training with Angla. Do you expect him to be a
They share
huge
all the
factor?
secrets. They
Yeah.
share all the secrets with each other. This is not good. But I have Edmund here, so he's gonna tell me everything.
I mean, all respect to Angla because he's a great guy and The only thing I can tell is how to lose against you. So I guess.
Oh, a hater. Amir's a hater.
um, um, Fast forward, you're fighting. We know one didn't give you a lot of fights. I don't want to get too deep into that because that's in the past, and we want to look forward. The UFC likes people who are active. What's your own vision on that? Do you want to stay active? How many fights do you prefer to fight if everything goes well, and so on and so on and so on?
Yeah, as soon as possible. So hopefully I get Gerald out as quick as possible. Don't get hurt. And then New York is on the way back home, so I can stop over in New York a week later. Maybe spend some time at Henzo Gracie's there, and then I can choke a guy out at that event. Who knows?
I think a lot of people will be amazed if you get to do that. Reinier, also looking
You
at the
know.
middleweight, 50 G's, baby. I want to hear that one. Um, Reinier, also looking at your division, we saw a great fight this weekend from someone you've also spent some time training with, Hamza Chimaev against Robert Whittaker.
Yeah,
The middleweight division is getting a little bit hype again because it was, and when Adesanya was the champ, everybody was like, okay, when you fight Adesanya, it's a loss, and then we get to see Adesanya again point fighting. Then Pereira came, it got a bit fun, but for now, it looks like the division is getting more fun. Who do you think is your biggest challenge within that division? If you look at it from a fighter's perspective.
oh, there's so many great guys at the moment. Like you can easily name off 5 guys who will be great challenges. I just want to get there, just as soon as possible. Like Hamza would be very fun because now you only see him shooting on people. I don't really think he's going to shoot on me. Bo Nickel would be fun. Robert Whittaker, Adesanya, Sean Strickland. If I keep my don't get too friendly with him here. It's all yeah, it's all good. All a lot
I,
of
don't,
cool matches.
I would love to see the trash talk between Sean Strickland and Reinier de Ridder. I
He's
think
already trying. He's already trying a bit, but
don't give him too much. Um, and Reinier, how's your camping going? Because you've been in the USA since last week,
yep,
if I'm correct. When did you start training, and when did you know you were fighting? So were you already training, and then they
yeah,
called you
yeah.
for the fight? Yeah,
No, yeah. As you know, I always train, right? I always keep
yeah,
going. But I've known about Gerald for I think over 2 months already, so pretty long. When I knew I signed with UFC, the news for the offer of Gerald came pretty quickly.
yeah.
Um, so I've been preparing for him for a pretty long time now. Um, Camp back home was good. It's always like a bit of a struggle to bring the right guys in to spar with, but it worked out pretty well. Especially because he's a southpaw, so there's not a lot of southpaws available normally. Um, but I made all my training partners go southpaw, so they were very happy with me.
That's
Um,
great.
and here, the flight it kind of impacts me every time because it's pretty long. It's a time difference, so I felt like shit for the first couple of days. I've been training, but like on a lower level. But actually, since yesterday, I've really started to feel like myself again. So getting back to 80, 90%. Hopefully, the next week, getting more fit, more sharp. Then I'll be ready to go and cut that weight.
Sounds great. I hear that a lot, and I think you made the right decision by going approximately 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks before your fight.
It's the dryness here
Uh,
too for some reason.
yeah,
It's the middle of the desert, huh? So my nose is very dry. It's hard to breathe through my nose for some reason. It has been. It's getting better now, happily. So all good. Yeah.
do you notice your
Aaron needs a lot of labello because his mouth is dry.
uh, uh, do you notice also during training that it's a different weather? So because it's
Yeah,
more
definitely.
warm. Yeah.
So especially like the first week was hard to catch my breath. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, you have 2 weeks left,
Yeah,
so
exactly. A week
it
and a
will be
half.
it will be good. Yeah. Um, Talking about the Salpa, I saw a post of, I think Haroon posted it on the Comment Brothers Instagram, or somebody posted it on the Comment Brothers Instagram with, we're looking for a Southpaw, uh, light heavyweight, middleweight.
Yeah,
And
to
I
bring in.
talked to Sammy and I said to him, it would be for Alain because he was also going to fight. And then a week or two after, the news came, Reinier signed with the UFC, and we saw the Twitter UFC roster watcher, or I mean X. We saw UFC roster
Oh
watcher
yeah,
Reinier de Ridder, and then we were like, but we were like, first ask, then see. Um,
It's a
Talking
shame
about
for
that,
Alain that he didn't get to fight at the Contender Series.
yeah, it's a huge shame because we were hyping. We saw it on. We saw it, and then I talked to Alain through Instagram a bit, and we said, yeah, you know what, kick some ass at KSW, and then you can go directly into the UFC. Fuck it.
Yeah, yeah. He has the visa issues is a problem, of course, but
A lot of
the
fighters have the
KSW is a
visa
huh?
issues. So
Huh?
a lot of fighters have the visa issues. So he
Yeah,
can also fight in the, yeah, because you have, like, I know Khamzat at the moment, the, they say he's not allowed into the US, so he
yeah.
fights mainly in Europe and the Middle East. Shara Bullet is, I think, not allowed to fight in America because of his eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Alain will be there, and I know.
Yeah, KSW is a great organization as well. So and his first fight will be most likely be in Paris. So that's cool for him as well. Do some French interviews and stuff. Good.
Yeah, will you be there in his corner?
I have to see because it's winter holidays at home and the kids would like to go somewhere with me. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
this is my last year um, as a not dad, because in 2025 I'm becoming a dad. So
Hey.
so enjoy. I will enjoy these moments if I hear you. Hey,
Yeah.
and then you're looking at the current state of where you're at. Um, you wanted to be in the UFC. We heard you in the interview say you would have loved to be there much earlier in your career, but things
It is
happen.
what it is.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
I can't look back on that. I've had a great career so far. I'm happy that I'm here. It doesn't matter.
But for us, I read some rumors that you could also have been gone to other organizations, and maybe other organizations would have paid you a much more. But also from our side, we know you as the guy who loves to compete at the highest level. Is that also a reason why you chose the UFC?
Man, I chose I went with the UFC because when this whole thing started, like 10 years ago, and I did my first couple of pro fights, the idea was to go to the UFC. The idea was to get to the top, and kind of owed it to myself to go to the UFC. And the money will come or it won't, and I'll be fine anyway, right? I'll just eat some white bread and peanut butter at home.
I
The
think
kids
nobody has to
won't go
worry about
to college, and it's okay. It's okay.
you. You need to get the bonuses. Just make a vicious submission or something crazy, and you'll get the bonuses. Um, you're at the middleweight division, and I want to ask you. I know you don't give answers. We asked you in Dutch 2 times already. We asked you off camera. You're not the guy who would say names, but I'm going to ask you anyway. After you choked Gerald Meerschaert out, because I know that will happen. I don't care what people say. You will choke him out. Who's the first name you will call out? You have
I
someone in mind.
really,
You can't tell me you don't have anyone in mind.
yeah, I have a lot of guys in mind, but I'm very curious who they would give me, because it's the guys in the top, like an Adesanya or whatever. What's the chance they're gonna accept a fight with me right now? Or it has to be like something very spectacular this fight, and like something crazy. Then maybe I have a chance to get a fight with those guys. But most likely there'll be a fight in between, right? Um, or maybe
We
something
usually
like last minute.
Yeah, we usually say Chris Curtis when we say, okay, someone from outside the top 15 won, so you would
Yeah.
be outside the top 15. We always say give them Chris Curtis, and I read this morning that Chris Curtis is not in the top 15 anymore, and
Oh, it's fine, yeah. Or
that could be
maybe
a
I
fun
don't
fight.
know, like who's in like 5 to 15? Who's there? Like around 10.
Michel Pereira is at 15 now. I don't like that fight. Um, Brandon Allen could be a fun fight.
Oh yeah,
Also,
yeah.
also yeah, that could be a fun fight. Who do we have left? There's some middleweights, but I would say Brandon Allen would also be a great matchup for you because he's also a guy
Yeah,
who
that'd be
doesn't
fun.
mind to
Yeah.
grapple.
And
Yeah,
maybe Paul Craig can take a hike, get hurt or something. I can step in for
that would be a fun
fight
fight.
a week later. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Also, against Paul Gregg would be a fun fight because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't like a stand up fight, so he shoots. But I'm curious if he would shoot on you or try to grapple you. So that
yeah,
would be a
yeah.
fun fight. Okay. Even kijken. Oh, let's watch. I have some questions from our viewers. I asked most of it. Ba, 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 ba. Now we got all the questions actually, and I don't want to hold you up too long. You already
Okay.
answered. Is there something you want to say to the viewers?
Mm. Watch my fight, spam Dana White, follow my Instagram, all the good stuff.
I want to say one more last thing because in the last podcast we recorded, you also said the American crowd is amazing. You said something
Yeah,
I will never forget. Grab his dick and twist it.
yeah,
That's something fun. You're fighting at the Apex, isn't it?
yeah.
How do you? Because I know the cage is also a bit smaller than the
On the
regular
PI,
cage.
they have both the cages set up. They
Ah,
have
that's
like
what I want.
full
Yeah.
size cage, and they have the cage in the for the Apex. Yeah,
Is it a huge difference?
yeah. It's a lot smaller actually. Yeah, it's a lot smaller. That's good.
Oh, okay, I was curious about that. Anyway, Reinier, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you in Dutch after I ended the recording because there are some things I wanted to ask off camera, but that's not for the. Yeah. No, there's some things I wanted to ask. Oh, for the people who don't know, shout out to Combat Brothers. Also, shout out to Benny who blessed me with this one.
Bam.
Yeah. Shout out to Combat Brothers. That's
Die
the
moet je wel
gym
aandoen.
that I need to represent. I will wear it. I will wear it during the fight. Yeah, you see it. Check out the merch that Reinier is wearing. Yeah, I already posted it on our Instagram also. Guys, check out Reinier's fight against Gerald Meerschaert. It will definitely be a banger. I know us Dutch fans are really waiting for the next UFC champ or a big name again within the UFC. We had Gegard Mousasi, we have Shemane de Randami. Unfortunately, Jarno will get back to it, but at the moment he's not at the UFC. So Reinier, please give us a killer of a fight. Good luck. And for the people who don't know, this is Reinier de Ridder, following on his Instagram, De Ridder MMA,
Yes.
De Ridder MMA, and make him get brand deals because he needs the money. He wants to send his kids to college. He doesn't want to eat white bread, people.
Exactly.
Shout out to Reinier. Reinier, thank you for your time. Good luck on your fight, and we can't wait to see you.